Over the past few months, British tennis has enjoyed its happiest period since the Fred Perry era. And while Edmund, who could be seen as Andy Murray's heir apparent, contributed to the feel-good factor when he crushed 13th seed Richard Gasquet for the loss of just 7 games, the match was startlingly abrupt, starting with an Edmund forehand winner and closing with an ace. In between, Gasquet was simply outgunned. It was ferociously hot on court 5, and as the ball leapt and spat off the asphalt, the Frenchman resembled the skipper in a bowling alley. He was often left powerless and immobile as Edmund's ferocious ground strokes flew past him on both sides. Edmund came out of the match with outstanding statistics, 40 clean winners, which included 10 aces, and only 16 unforced errors. "It's probably my best win," he said afterwards. "It just clicked. I thought I was smart when I needed to be." From Edmund's perspective, this was probably a good time to play a man who has struggled with his body all summer. For all his pedigree, which includes 3 Grand Slam semi-finals, Gasquet has been short of matches and confidence since he was forced to retire from his 4th-round clash at Wimbledon with a back injury. The familiar Gasquet flourish was there on a few points, the gorgeous single-handed backhand that seems to belong in an Alexander Dumas swashbuckler. But he lacked the intensity, played too slowly, and allowed Edmund to dictate with the forehand that has become one of the heaviest shots in world tennis. "I'm not sure I could do worse," said disconsolate Gasquet after his 6-2, 6-2, 6-2-3 defeat. "I knew to come to this tournament would be tough for me. I need matches, I need practice, I need to recover, I need to feel better mentally. I'm not in great form at all. I had a big problem at Wimbledon. It killed me a little bit. I stopped maybe 6 weeks. I forced it a lot to come back. But he deserved it. He played well. He has a great serve, a great forehand. He will be very good in the future." The win was not completely without hitches. Edmund had to work his way out of pressured situations a few times on his own serve, which he often did by kicking the ball high to the Gasquet backhand. He was broken only once, but that felt like the danger moment, because Edmund has a history of suffering cramps when required to play long matches. Still, he stayed calm, breaking straight back with a game that concluded in a spectacular running pass. "I was playing very consistently and not playing out of myself, so I knew it wasn't going to take much to get that back," he said. In an unusual surge of emotion, the reticent Edmund celebrated that running forehand winner with a snarling fist pump, prompting the British supporters to leap out of their seats. Court 5 is not one of the U.S. Open's bigger arenas, being part of a block of 3 match courts that sit near the practice area, but every place was taken. The 2 contests on either side seemed very unlucky by comparison. 6 weeks ago, Edmund demonstrated his growing maturity by leading the British Davis Cup team to victory in Belgrade. Since then, he had found it difficult to make the transition to hard courts. Yet he upped up markedly on arriving in New York, his last stop on what had been a training itinerary around North and South America. "Days like this feel really good," he said. "Over the past few weeks on the hard courts I haven't found my form, but luckily the match when I needed it, I came good. In the summer I beat Jill Simon and then had a good experience against Andy Murray. Those matches, against top players, give you more experience, more confidence with your game. You learn that you are able to take it to them. I have to express myself, and that's the way I play." Edmund's story at this tournament may not be over yet, for he is the most attractive of second-round draws, again an American wild card ranked no. 201 in the world. Ernesto Escobedo, who is 20, had never won the Grand Slam match until he outlasted Slovakia Lucas Lacko, quite literally. The match was locked at 2 sets apiece when Lacko decided to retire from the tournament rather than contest the decider. Edmund played Escobedo last summer on the American Challenger circuit, though he could not remember much about his 3-set victory in Binghamton, 180 miles from here. "It's a good opportunity," said the level-headed Briton. "Maybe he's not as high ranked as someone like Gasquet, but you have to respect your opponents. The worst thing you can do in sport is get ahead of yourself. I'm obviously extremely happy. I was just in the moment for that match, and I'm enjoying it. The crowd were incredible and I didn't expect this much support, but I'm happy I was able to give back some really good tennis. I went about my process and didn't worry about who I was playing. I played better than I expected though. I always knew that a best-of-5 sets match here is going to be up and down, but I was riding a high wave from the start to the beginning of the third set, when I was broken. But I kept cool and grew tougher, and when I broke him back I upped my game and really took it to him. If I'm honest, I didn't expect to get this much support, but British tennis gets support all around the world. We even had it in Rio. You really feel like you own the court when the crowd is behind you. I love seeing the kids here too, and hopefully they look at me and think that one day they can play here too.